So how are we doing today?
Great.
Great.
How about you?
I am feeling much better.
That's good. Dr. Nadia gave you the special
She
cure.
healed me.
No, she does it right here.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
she healed me
does it
from
right
the
here.
heart. That's
Yep.
right. Dr. Nadia, that was for you.
Yes.
So what do we got going on this morning?
I have a very interesting guest for us this morning. How do I describe him? You know what? I'm just going to tell everybody
He's
who
a
he
savior
is.
too.
He is, in a different kind of
In
way.
a different kind of way.
His name's Ron Ford, and he's the owner of Hoarders Express. And I think the name of his business says it all. It says exactly what he does. Welcome to Morning
Hey,
Call.
thanks for
Ron.
having me. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming on. You know, you hear so much about hoarding in their shows on TV, but there really is a difference between being messy and hoarding.
Yes,
right?
there is.
But is there a point where the messiness turns into hoarding, or is it
Well, what
two
happens
different
is
things?
it's two different things. It's the fine line. We on our website www.hoardersexpress.com we analyze the difference. When you're messy, you're messy. Hoarders, they have a tendency of collecting things haphazardly, where there's no rhyme or reason to it.
Oh.
And that's the main thing, collecting and then accumulating haphazardly items where you want to save it for a rainy day. If you haven't used it in say a year to 2 years, it's time to get rid of it. And that's our motto when we go into these houses with compassion
Right.
to help discard some of the items in the houses.
So
Right.
now this is not collecting.
Correct.
This is not
This
like
is not
collecting
like
antiques.
I
or
am
anything.
collecting a stamp or you know what I
Right.
mean.
Right.
So this is collecting pretty much
Stuff.
anything. But what are they deeming valued? You know, like is there anything?
Everything has a value. Most of our clients had issues in their lives where traumatic issues, so it brought them comfort to buy random items from flea markets, from stores, just accumulating massive amounts of items with no rhyme or reason.
So I guess maybe the accumulation kind of satisfies the need that's not being fulfilled or
Correct.
has never been fulfilled in their lives, right?
Exactly.
But I mean, I know people collect crazy things like twisty ties, even, or baggies, and
Well, you know what? It all stems from their childhood. We
Right.
have these. We're working on a couple hoarder cases now where they were deprived as kids. We have a set of twins. When they were kids, they had to wear each other's clothing. So as adults, they have money, so they're buying a whole bunch of clothing just to satisfy the need to have clothing.
that they could
Wait
be
a minute. So are you
individuals.
saying that because of hand-me-downs, that's what they're kind of suffering over?
Yeah.
All right. This is to my
Wow.
wife. No more hand-me-downs.
Uh-oh.
My youngest one always, she's a girl. She gets her sister's stuff.
Right.
Even though it's nice, but I don't want Baby D going crazy. So.
Baby D needs a new outfit
That's
once
right,
in a while.
baby, that's right.
Yeah, exactly. So there's a whole bunch of underlying issues. With my company, we also have social workers on call that can help
That's great.
take the people off the edge. A lot of people ask us, what's the difference? They classify as a junk removal, but in our company, we don't use the J word or the T word.
And the
There's
T
no-
word would be the trash,
trash.
word.
We don't
right?
use the trash or junk because everything is items to everyone.
Yes.
Rather not how minute it may be for another
Us,
person.
Right.
So with compassion, we go through everything and make sure we don't throw away the pictures. We don't throw away
Oh, yeah.
sentimental items.
Right.
Ron, do you when you do this, do you actually? Is there some type of system that you can, or people that you can bring in to teach them how not to go back to hoarding?
That's part of our social working aspects.
Okay, that's part of the social
Yes,
work. Okay,
yes.
very interesting.
Yeah, they just don't go in and clean you out or clean everything out. They also try and, help you find out why you're doing this, so hopefully you don't repeat it again.
Exactly,
right?
exactly. Even though for a business it'd be great, but to get repeat business, but we don't want the repeat business.
Not for that.
We want to try
no.
to heal these people.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there's got to be some health issues with
Oh,
those.
what happens is we had a house in Riverton. This house is beautiful, right in the middle of the town.
Homes.
Victoria home.
I grew up in that area.
Okay. And this person, he was only 50, 55. He was in a hospital because of his breathing, because of his house. His house
Yes.
drove him, and it was a family house, and he ended up going to hospice. And our company prides herself in clearing out and organizing things for you in
Right.
your house so he could come back in. But unfortunately, he died
He
before
didn't
he could
make
come
it.
back
Wow.
because of the house.
Wow.
So he was, because of the breathing problems, he was.
Correct.
He had to be removed from the property because he couldn't breathe due to
Right.
toxins and whatever, right?
Exactly. He had 2 refrigerators side by side. one refrigerator had tons of insects and everything else, so he just went out and bought another refrigerator.
Oh.
That refrigerator ended up getting tons of insects, and so we had to end up gutting the entire kitchen out, basically getting the whole house out. It took us about 7 dumpsters, 3 days to empty out this house.
7 dumpsters.
7 dumpsters. And the valuable stuff, we ended up turning it over to his power of attorney, his cousin.
Right.
And we found $12,000 in cash. We found another $10,000 in a passport savings book that if you don't have that book, you'll never know that you have that money hidden.
Right.
So we pride ourselves in being trustworthy.
Right.
Our staff.
Are you bonded?
No, bonding is
You need
per
to be
job.
bonded? Okay.
You know, per job you can get bonded, but our guys are pretty, you know. We kind of search them before, we search them after, and to keep the playing field, we also have a video service. Whereas if the person isn't able, we can actually hook monitors up and they can live stream what we're doing.
Well, this is what
Very
I was going to
cool,
ask
very
you.
cool.
Are the homeowners there with you while you're cleaning?
We encourage the homeowners. It all depends. If the homeowners can't part with their goods, we encourage to have a relative with them.
Right.
So that way, to make the process go a lot smoother. We also have DIFAS clients.
Yes.
Before, during, and after they take the kids out of the home environment, DIFAS will have us come in here and clean up the house for them.
Now, I think that was my next question. So you're saying that there's hoarders that have children?
Yes. Yeah.
Sure.
Because you know what? Not naming any of those shows out there, you see a lot of them is like, it seems like the elderly, you know, the alone single male female type of setting. So you're saying that there's hoarders with
families.
children?
Oh yeah, we had this one place in Haddonfield, as a matter of fact.
Beautiful community.
Very nice community. And DIFAS had us go in there because the child was taken out of the household. So our job was to calm the person down because she yelled at me for 6 hours. I tell the guys, just do your work. The only time she stopped yelling at me was when we took a lunch break and then we came back. And I told her, bottom line is we're here to help you out. And we have to make an impact in your house or else you'll never get your child back. So and she was only 38 years old.
Wow.
But she had some mental issues as well.
Right.
And so our job, we wouldn't be doing it justice to our hoarder clients if we weren't proactive and helping them discard items from their house.
Right, and helping them heal.
Right, and besides discarding, we donate. Last year we donated over $200,000 worth of items to charities.
Nice.
So we're playing it forward, and we're giving it to Purple Heart, Goodwill, and and even churches.
Right. That's
Heart,
great.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to hold that thought for a minute. We're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back with Ron from Hoarders Express.
For independent living for seniors age 62 and over, People Inc. offers safe, maintenance-free apartments across Western New York. The affordable rent is income-based. For more information, call People Inc. Senior Living at 817-9090.
Looking for a cooking oil with a light flavor and reduced absorption so food preserves its natural flavor? One with a high smoke point for stir-frying, sautéing, grilling, and baking? Then choose all-natural Pompeian 100% grapeseed oil, imported from France. Grapes have been a key ingredient of the healthy Mediterranean diet for years. Pompeian 100% grapeseed oil is the chef's choice for high-heat cooking, grilling, stir-frying, sautéing, or even deep frying. And Pompeian 100% grapeseed oil is great for baking too, because its delicate taste does not overwhelm the flavor of cakes, cookies, and other favorite recipes. A key traditional ingredient of the Mediterranean, grapeseed oil is a rich source of vitamin E antioxidant and naturally gluten-free. Buy imported Pompeian 100% grapeseed oil today and find great recipes at Pompeian.com.
Wait, don't let this happen to you. At Jan Fence, we're family owned and operated for over 50 years, providing a wide choice of fencing. Why wait online at the big box store? Just call Jan Fence. Ask about our Easy Fence to Go products by Active Yards, the first truly do-it-yourself fence product.
At Jan Fence, we always do what we say. Come see us today.
Step into an extraordinary world that will excite your senses. Experience our delectable Mughlai cuisine and the magic of tandoori savoir-faire. Let our international award-winning team delight you with a taste of heaven. Enjoy our mouth-watering flavors and our unique flair for excellence. Savor the elegance of fine dining and catering. Shazam Restaurant. Indulge your taste buds.
Today's show has been sponsored by More Than Gifts. Come see our new location in Marlton, New Jersey. Not just gifts, but more.
Well, welcome back. I'm Keith Reynolds, host of Morning Coffee, with my show host, Charlene Chamberlain.
That's my name, Charlene.
Charlene. So, welcome back, and we're here with our hoarder expert,
Mr. Ron Ford from
Thank you for
Hoarders
having me.
Express. And we were talking about, the difference between having a messy house or hoarding. And there really is a fine line, and it can go from being messy to hoarding.
Yes.
But I think something has to happen mentally for that to actually happen. You have to
Or
have
trauma,
some
I guess.
issues.
Trauma, tragedy.
Yeah. It's not that you just stop taking your trash out.
Correct,
You know?
correct. And a lot of people have given up. And that's where we come into play. We give them encouragement that, to move on.
Right.
We did this house, it was a condo in Sicklerville. Nice condo, nice area. And it took us 2 dumpsters to empty out an 800 square foot condo.
That's not big.
It's not big.
That's not big.
The kitchen was piled high. I didn't even realize she had a kitchen in there until we started moving this stuff out. Her bed was elevated on items, Dorito bags and discarded equipment, or discarded furniture and stuff inside her house. Once we cleared it out, she was crying because she thought she would never see her floor again. It was so. She was like, I never, ever, ever thought I was going to see my floor.
like spray it down and stuff.
Well, yeah. Do you have to worry about, hazardous, like I know you told me that you were in a home not too long ago and there were many expired animals.
You're right.
I would think do you have to wear hazmat suits?
Well, we do. We have respirators. It all depends on what level. I remember I was going to an estimate, and I was dressed like you, just coming back from a business meeting, and I walked over a dead squirrel. Not even thinking. I said, let me just do this estimate. And I leave, and I'm scratching like a canine. I end up getting fleas off of that dead squirrel.
Right.
Ooh.
Living, it's dead
in the house.
In a house.
Fleas are the worst.
They
I
are
get
the worst.
I get alert when I get bit. I swell
swell
up
up.
normally.
Okay.
Allergic to
I'm
them.
telling you, fleas are bad.
So we protect our guys. We're dressed
Covered,
down. We're covered
right,
out. When we do the
gloves.
estimates, we dress that. We dress up depending on the severity. Like the house in Long Branch. This house, the owner was like, hey, if you guys find any of my cats, I would like to give them a proper burial.
Yeah.
Well, we actually found 11 dead cats in this house, so decomposed that it was just a fur ball. The bones and everything else
So
were
they had been there for years.
years.
Hey, if you find my cat.
Yes.
Find any of my cats.
But that means that he didn't feed them. That person didn't feed them, and that's probably why they died. And
Or
couldn't-
they kept having kittens and more kittens.
And the cat's 9 lives were expired.
Yeah, exactly.
Jesus.
Wow.
Yeah, so
That's
we
scary.
find all kinds of
Dead animals.
and live animals. This last house in Havertown, Pennsylvania, they had, as we were working, we pre-treat the house to keep my employees safe.
How do you do that?
We'll have an exterminator go in before we
Okay.
get there, and then when we leave, we have another exterminator. These rats were so big; they were big as cats.
Rats.
But what happened was, she had a broken sewer line, so the rats were coming through the sewer line.
Oh my God.
So part of our service is after we take care of your items and remove everything, we also do repair work.
Oh,
So
no
we
kidding.
ended up
That's good.
repairing
Okay. Broken windows, I'm sure there's a lot of that.
Not really.
No?
You would never know these houses were hoarder houses until you actually went inside, until you actually see our dumpsters
So a lot
on
of
the
the
outside.
inside, like drywall, stuff like that, maybe.
You're right. Or just leaks. A
Leaks,
lot
yeah.
of leaks. A lot of houses have leaks in it. So
And that's mold too. and
yeah, it
mildew,
created
right?
mold. The flooring, we're redoing her floor as we speak because it creates damage to the floor. So we're making this house brand new as if nothing ever happened.
So what happened? You replaced the pipe, or you repaired the pipe. So they
Yeah, we
stopped
repaired. What
The
happened
rats
is
go away?
we had the rat man come back.
The rat man.
The rat man. The
We need to have the rat
exterminators.
man on next.
Yeah, and what happens is we partner with a whole bunch of different companies, exterminators.
Well, I would think you would need to do that
Yeah, we
because
do.
you never know what you're walking into.
Exactly. So we get a local exterminator around where we're operating at, and we find it local charities. So that way we give it to the local community. And the rat man, 26 confirmed kills. And these rats were humongous, as big as cats.
Oh, what were they eating?
I wonder if they're friendly.
These rats, you know what? The actual owner didn't mind the rats running around. These guys, the rats were active. They weren't hiding out. And she had a pantry in her basement that these rats were actually eating the cans and letting the food, they were eating the food.
Oh my
So she had tons of cans that were eaten by the rats. So these rats they were well fed.
They were well fed, and and that's probably
where
they
to
were
go for
walking
the
around.
food.
And they were pissed. We put little glue traps down the size of a paper, 8.5 by 11.
Right.
The rats would get on them
and then still run with it.
Chew themselves off of it.
Oh.
You know, so we had to take it up a notch. We had the traps.
Mm-hmm.
Those
That's
rats.
a big trap right
They
there.
were big. They were like raccoon traps.
They were like sewer rats, because sewer rats are
Yeah,
very
sewer
big.
rats.
Or
Yep.
river
Very
rats.
big.
Yeah.
They're sewer rats.
Yeah.
Sewer rats. So.
Wow. That's pretty crazy. Well, I think we're up for another commercial break.
Yeah.
Pretty close, right?
Yeah, I wanted to, and when we come back, I wanted to touch a little bit, on, you talked about help and everything, getting help for these people. Is there anything besides what you were saying about as far as characteristics and doing preventative work? Like you said, there's that child that was in place. If you know that is happening, is there any way that you can do preventative work? We'll bring it back after that.
In a world where bankers have lost all interest, where robots and fat cats rule our fortunes, one woman will stand up and strive to do the impossible. Be treated like a person. Friends and neighbors will join her quest. Ordinary people will band together against the forces of corporate greed. And together they will form Philadelphia Federal Credit Union, already in a neighborhood near you.
Imagine the finest hand-selected USDA prime steak you'll ever have. The freshest line-caught seafood, our Wine Spectator award-winning wine list, and soul-satisfying desserts. Bring that together with the perfect date, the winning business deal, a memorable family celebration. Welcome to Rod's Steak and Seafood Grill in nearby Morristown, New Jersey. Bring your appetite and feed your passion.
Your credit score is yours, and at Experian Credit Expert, we want to help you really use it. With access to helpful Experian experts over the phone and online, we can help you use it to get a better idea of what info the banks have on you. Use it to get more choice of mortgages. Use it to make your money go further. Take the next step to improving your financial future with your free 30-day trial at Experian.co.uk.
Here at Preppies Tex-Mex, you can definitely taste the freshness in our food. You should definitely come to Preppies because it's a great place. You can bring your family, very kid-friendly. All my servers are amazing, friendly people. Everyone here is just happy to serve, and I think it shows. The thing that sets us apart is the quality and freshness of our food. And I think once you try it, you'd be coming back. I'm Joe DeSario, co-owner of Preppies Tex-Mex in Plainfield, New Jersey.
Today's show has been sponsored by More Than Gifts. Come see our new location in Marlton, New Jersey. Not just gifts, but more.
And we're back. I'm Keith Reynolds with my show host, Charlene Chamberlain. Ex-hoarder. No, I'm only kidding. Oh, that's right. It was her husband. She said that.
I'm not a hoarder.
I'm sorry. And we're with our. Oh, that's right. I meant to say we were with our hoarder expert.
Yeah.
So right before the break, I was trying to get my point out, and I was stumbling. Thank God for our producer that put on a commercial. But Ron, what I was trying to talk about was, if someone was part of domestic violence when they were younger, there's treatment programs that you can go to. So as an adult, you don't end up.
There's
there.
help, yeah.
There's help. Is there stuff like that for hoarders?
You know what? There are. There are a lot of psychologists and social workers that specialize in hoarders, the hoarder disorder, and it's been classified in the
classified. That's what I was.
It's classified now. That as a disorder where your insurance company will actually cover it now.
Really?
Yes.
That's interesting.
My question is it more? It's more female based now. You're saying than men. And
you know what?
What about families? Do you see a lot of families?
Wait, can I get a drum roll?
When you say families, what do you mean families?
Parents and kids and grandparents live in there. Full houses like that too. I know we kind of touched on that a little bit earlier, but
what happens is. A lot of these the people getting older, their kids are inheriting these houses,
right?
And they want to nip it in the bud before their parents pass away, or even if they pass away, they have this house with.
Now, what are they going to do with it?
Exactly. Right. So our company actually goes in there, sorts out everything, and we say, hey, do you want to keep this or do you want us to donate it to charity? Right. And that's what happens. So we do. After the fact and during while their parents are still alive.
What she was really trying to ask Ron, and she just the point out was she just moved right around that question.
Sneaking it in there.
Who is a hoarder more, women or men?
Our clients are more women than men.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Our clients are more
Silence
women.
You know
all
why?
you women out there.
Because women shop more.
Oh, is that what?
And you know what? And if they shop more, they accumulate more.
Right.
All right.
We're in
Good
Delaware.
save,
We're in Delaware yesterday, and the two daughters. The mother had to move out of her bedroom. She's in a 3-bedroom house. So we do rooms too. We do as small as a room to a whole house.
Got
so the daughters wanted to surprise her mother, send her on a vacation, and clean her room up.
Wow.
Because her room has tons of clothes. She can't even use the bathroom inside of her room. So the mom moved out of her room and moved into another room in the house.
Now, is that a shopaholic or is that a hoarder though?
It's probably both.
It's both.
Combo.
It's both.
Okay.
It's both.
But I mean, was it clean though?
Well, it can't be if there's so much stuff you can't
Well,
get
they're
to it.
clothes. Look, I knew people that are shopaholics that still have tags on their clothes.
Right.
But they're everywhere.
Well,
you
you
can't
know
even
one
get in,
sitting next to you.
See that?
Yeah, but you know what? It's a clean room relatively, but if you can't get in there to clean a room, you know how much dust get
and it can promote
allergies.
the behavior of hoarding on the other extreme, where it's unhealthy.
Exactly.
As far as
so she's moved out of her room. That's one indication when you don't want your family in there in your house or your room. So the daughter realizes it. She's like, "Hey, we want everything out of here."
Right.
She's like, "We'll deal with the consequences. We'll give my mom another credit card so she goes shopping."
Right. Start all over again.
In the event that you guys throw away or discard anything that she has. Because we even hang up clothes, we fold them up for them, and they said, hey, all the clothes that are in the closet, she can't even reach it because she's blocked. She can't get to them.
Right.
So they're all old. All the stuff that's in the bed, as soon as you can open up the door, they say, oh, she uses all that stuff. But
yeah, because she can get to it.
She can get to
back
it.
And forth.
Correct.
Right.
Now, so you guys do, Ron, and you know, it seems like you guys do a full service.
Yes.
And I like that. You don't just say, hey, here's the problem.
We're going to clean you out.
We're going to clean you out and you live with it. So you pretty much... you will, like you said, hang the clothes up. Will you build a closet for her?
We'll actually build a closet. We will.
See that? So you'll do pretty much a full solution service.
Ron also,
I love that.
He also mentioned during the break, it's not really just the interior of the house. You've got a garage possibly. You may have a trashed backyard.
And that's my next question. Is there such thing as okay house, but now the hoarder is your hoarder in your car? Or you're a hoarder in your backyard?
Yes.
You know what I mean?
We have several cases that we've done, and for example, another lady over in Havertown, she had we noticed that she couldn't drive her car anymore. So out of curiosity, I said, "Hey, let's go inside of her car." She had groceries in her car that were there for over 4 months.
Oh my gosh!
So imagine the stench. And this car was a 2014 Lincoln Continental.
Oh my gosh!
So yeah, people hoarding cars where you can't even. A lady recently in New Jersey, she has a SUV that's packed. You can't see out the back window. You can't sit in the back, and the front is packed. So yeah, people hoard the cars. People even hoard cars in their property.
Yeah.
Now I know it's not. It's kind of a silly question, but it has nothing to do with
No
like trauma
happening
something happening in their car or in the backyard.
maybe they
like
just
what
ran,
sets
they
it
probably
off?
ran
It's
out
just,
of space
it's
in the
just
house.
being hoarder. Well, no, the horse is okay. But I mean, have you ever seen that where the house is okay, but the other, like the car's trash?
That's because their wife
the
won't let them put their
backyard.
stuff in the house.
Yeah.
You know, the backyard. I mean, usually people
you know
see that
what?
stuff and that they say that's a junkyard.
Oh,
but
yeah.
you know what I mean.
But it's
no.
rarely. If
It's
it's
rare.
outside, it's
It's inside.
That's the rule of thumb. If it's
Okay.
outside,
Right.
if you drive by a house and you see a whole bunch of stuff in it,
Trash.
it's inside the house.
Is that an
Items.
indication? A subtle indication.
It's a blatant indication that it's out there.
Okay, so big beaten red light.
Yeah, like we
Ron,
did
come
this.
visit me.
I know, right? We did this house in Browns Mills, and this is an all-time high. 16 dumpsters. Took us 2 weeks to clear it out. We found $1,000 in change, loose change on the floor. We threw away another $3,000 because it was stuck to the floor.
Oh.
And
Ew.
by the time we ended up getting everything out of this house, they had a trailer parked in the back. They had a boat in the back.
Yeah.
They had tree limbs. They had other storage units out there that we all had to empty out. So it was a massive undertaking.
Out there, you know, it's backwoods.
Browns,
So,
yeah.
you know, you could do anything out there. You'd
Nobody
come
would
across
know
it.
it.
No one even know it. So.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
Well, no, but you know what? Someone did know it because the health department came and they said, "Hey, if they don't clean this house up, we're gonna fine them a day, and we're gonna put a placard." And Brown's Long Branch, they had a placard that says, "Do not
Like no
do not
admittance
enter."
or something?
Yeah, no
Yeah.
admittance because of
Yeah.
it was a health hazard and a
Right.
danger. So we get calls from health code enforcements. Another one in Riverton. We were set up. We received the deposit. We had the dumpsters out. We had the porta potties because my guys don't go inside the house.
How could you can't get to them?
Exactly. So this house, we couldn't. It was maybe about a 2-foot clearance from the wall, from the door. You could only open up the door maybe about 2 feet, so a big guy couldn't get in there.
Dumpster dive over.
Yeah,
it?
he was a smaller guy, so he was scaling.
All right, something when you're crawling
He's over your
the trash
in your home.
Something at some point.
But what happened was we couldn't even do the job because once we had everything set up, and then we had to call the cops in the health department because he refused to come out.
Oh,
he was afraid we were going to throw away his expired cans of food because I guess as a kid he starved or didn't have that kind of food, so he hoarded food, and he was afraid that we were going to throw it away. Wow. And I told him we would. I said because
it's expired,
it's
and
expired,
it's bad for you,
and it's bad for you. He said, "Hey, son, test it out for you."
You should never open any can that is expired.
Right.
You really shouldn't. I
The
know.
fumes.
I know. Yeah, but I know people like
They do,
including my
though.
wife says like, "Oh, it's." I don't care if it says that's the time.
Throw it out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's crazy.
So we ended up packing up a crew of 12 and called it a day.
Wow.
And they put the placard on the door, "Do not enter."
Right.
Wow.
So it
Condemned.
was-
They usually say condemned.
It says condemned.
Yeah.
You
How
know.
embarrassing too.
Yeah, it is embarrassing, but we try to take the edge off of it.
Right.
We try to get in, get out, because there's no subtle on your property.
Oh no, absolutely.
There's no
not.
subtle way.
Yeah, I mean that's crazy.
So we try to do it with compassion. We try to get in, get out, and keep
And
it
make a
going.
difference. And
make
you're
a
really
difference.
making a difference in someone's life.
Yeah, and then when they like I said, when we first came on, that the difference between our company and all the other companies is that we actually care about the customers. We take our time to sort through the items. We listen to them, but we don't let the hoarders or our clients dictate
what you keep
what
and
we
what
keep
you
and what we don't
It's
keep.
your decision.
You know,
unless I guess if there's something that's buried in there that they know and they can't get to it.
Oh,
They
yeah.
say if
You know
you
what?
find my whatever.
11
And you know what?
cats.
Yeah,
No,
my
no.
11 cats.
And it's
you
funny.
find Fluffy in there.
Browns Mills gave us a checklist of what they're looking for.
Oh, okay, see that's
So we
good.
found they were looking for 2 weapons, and we found the 2 weapons out of the 17 dumpsters we emptied. We found 2. These weapons were from 1800s,
Right.
mint condition, and everything was in mint condition because so we ended up doing the repair work to fix the roofs, to fix the every part of the house because of the clothes. But the clothes preserved the floor, so the floor looked like this after we got done just removing the clothes. So, but we
Wow.
get a bucket list. What are you looking for? What do you want us to preserve?
Yeah.
We birth certificates, death certificates.
Yes.
We try to maintain, and we have a section where we keep all the important documents.
Wow,
So
that's
actually take the
amazing.
time.
Ron, well, I
Appreciate it.
mean, I could probably ask you another hour worth of questions and stories. I love to hear these stories. Why don't you tell the audience out there where they can find you?
Okay. What you can actually do is go to www.hoardersexpress.com, or you can reach us at 1-800. Oh, sorry. Excuse me.
1-888-792-2362.
And we're fully insured. And we're fully insured. So that's how you can reach
And I
us.
do want to mention one thing. I don't know if you still have these, but when I first met you, you gave me these little hang tags.
Yes, we
that
do.
Say Hoarders Express
Hoarders
on
Express,
them with the
yes.
information. So if you have a friend or someone in your family that you really don't want to approach personally, you can maybe stick
just
that
mail it
tag
to
on
them?
the door.
Yeah, you know what? Give us a call and we'll actually mail them. We'll actually mail it to them.
Yeah.
Or we'll have one of our reps just discreetly
knock on the door.
Leave a post-it note.
Right.
But the hoarders aren't our main clients. It's their relatives who are our main
Yes,
clients.
right.
And we can help work with the relatives and the actual hoarder to come to some happy median to get their properties cleaned up.
Cool.
That's great.
All right. Well, this will conclude this morning coffee tonight. Listen to me.
Uh-oh. What did Dr. Nadia do to you?
Yes. So
She's got you all mixed up.
That's right. So